Every sheet of Navigator Company has a lengthy story to tell. It begins about 12 years earlier, when our research and development laboratory supplies our tree nurseries with specially selected Eucalyptus globulus plants. Eucalyptus globulus allows us to use up to 46% less wood to manufacture the same amount of paper than other tree species. Our nurseries cultivate 12 million plants each year. Once the seedlings reach the right size, they are transported to the forest where they are planted following a policy of sustainable management. Then, well, we just have to wait for 12 years. This is the approximate life cycle of a tree until it reaches the necessary size for use in paper production. The Navigator Company manages a vast area of woodlands in Portugal, certified under international schemes such as FSC and PEFC, designed to help preserve wildlife and heritage sites. When the trees reach the desired age or diameter, the wood is collected and transported to the pulp mill. On arrival, the wood is unloaded and the logs are debarked and cut into small chips. Any material we cannot use in the pulp production process, like the bark, is taken to our biomass power stations to produce steam and energy. 100% of the electricity produced is fed into the national grid. It might well be that trees which produced your sheets of paper are the same that generated the power your printer needed to print them. The pulp is produced by cooking the wood chips. Yes, literally cooking. Just like in any kitchen, we're going to cook the wood in a special kind of pressure pot called a digester. Using heat, pressure and chemicals, the lignin is dissolved and the fibers are separated. The cellulose is concentrated in the wood fibers. Lignin is an organic compound with a high calorific value and is reclaimed to produce steam and power when burnt in the recovery boiler. The result is an untreated brownish pulp, which must be bleached to turn white. The bleaching process is designed to rid the pulp of its residual lignin and other components surrounding the cellulose fibers. In a series of stages, the pulp turns whiter with each successive stage. The white pulp is then pumped directly as slurry through pipelines to the paper mill. Here, it will be refined, have mineral fillers and other additives added to it in order to increase the paper's physical and optical properties, as well as printing quality. Once refined, the pulp is ready to enter the paper machine. A paper machine is in reality a giant dryer. The entire process develops along a machine measuring 200 meters in length, the equivalent of 4 Airbus A330 planes, and at speeds reaching 108 kilometers per hour. At this moment, the pulp is a suspension with 99% water and only 1% fiber. To start reducing the percentage of water and increase the concentration of fiber, the suspension passes through the headbox lip that deposits it on a plastic wire spanning the entire width of the machine. The suspension is then conducted through the forming section so as to pass through several depressions which cause the water to drain through the plastic web. This causes the concentration to increase the fibers to attract each other, thereby forming the sheet inside the paper machine. The dewatering process is completed in 6 main phases. First, as we saw, we have the forming phase, where the bulk of the water is removed through drainage vacuum processes. By the end of this early phase, moisture is reduced from 99% to around 80%. A second phase follows, called the pressing phase, in which the paper is pressed and water is squeezed out by large rolls. At this point, the moisture in the sheet is between 58% and 60%. Then the web is dried by passing through pre-drying phase, a section of high-temperature rolls that help evaporate the excess water. After this stage, we apply a liquid starch solution with chemicals, surface sizing phase, to improve interaction between the paper surface and printing inks, optimizing the paper's printing qualities. In the 5th phase, after drying phase, the paper sheet passes through heated cylinders to remove the remaining moisture, being dried to its final moisture level which is adapted to the paper's specific intended usage, office or offset. Heat is used in this section to evaporate water as the paper sheet passes over drying cylinders. This completes the final stage of the dewatering process. Once dried, the continuous sheet of paper is finally pressed, on both sides, at the calendar section, to provide the paper with a symmetric and desired level of smoothness. The paper sheet then reaches a giant reeler, where it is transformed into jumbo reels. A jumbo reel contains up to 80 tons of paper and takes just under 1 hour to produce. The jumbo reel is then taken to giant winders, where it is cut into smaller reels. These in turn are stored in our automatic reels warehouse, while waiting to be cut into smaller reels and sheets in our state-of-the-art converting lines. The paper is cut from the smaller reels into large format sheets used in the printing industry, or into traditional office paper like A4 and A3, or letter size for the US market. Before leaving the cutting lines, office paper is stacked into reams of 500 sheets and packed into boxes of 5 or 10 reams, which are then placed on pallets and wrapped. Folio formats can be stacked in bulk form or in reams as well. After a long journey initiated 12 years ago, they are now ready to begin a new journey, a global journey. By land, sea and air, they are exported to consumers in more than 120 countries across 5 continents. Their final destination? Thousands of homes and offices all over the world, via an international network of official distributors who make the best premium office paper available to you. And your own stories.